Hello, beautiful people. Welcome to a little exercise and a little game that I wanted to play around the topic of lack. This is something that I find really interesting as an exploration subject for so many sessions that I run. When I speak with their guides and their team and I'm channeling information, a lot of times I hear you came to this planet to experience so much restriction, so much lack of love, lack of support, so many dense separation experiences to see if you can find your way back to the light, recognize your power, understand the wisdom and the lessons of what it is to you yourself overcome these challenges. So it is kind of a funny game that we've chosen to play, coming to this very dualistic, black and white, divisive planet. And I'm going to be going live for a 3-part series, breaking free from lack and embodying abundance. And I wanted to play a game today. When I see sessions, when I see people's fields and sessions, I realize we are all just a program, a coagulation of experiences that we've had, situations from our childhood while our brain waves were in that theta state up until about 7 years of age, recording who we are, why we are this, the beliefs that then form our inspired actions, the beliefs that then are repeated and form energetic patterns. Could be patterns of expansion or could be patterns of restriction, patterns of lack, patterns of suffering, emotional densities that get stuck in our energy field and become who we think we are, right? So many times where I'm asking a client, are you ready to release this pattern? They show me why this pattern has been continually re-engaged with, continually affirmed. And when you are living in a body that is somatically felt, and when you are operating from a nervous system that has the imprints of lack of support from family, lack of acceptance for your differences from society, lack of money, maybe you moved around a lot as a child, lack of time to get things done, lack of worth in yourself. There are so many lack constructs that we have played with again and again and again, and then we think that that's who we are, right? And it's really fascinating looking at things from a human perspective of our personality is formed of all these constructs and these energy patterns that create the illusion of us, of me, of you. And then the soul perspective of our core fundamental frequency, which is always connected to source, which is completely abundant, which is completely free, which is empowered, right? And what I find fascinating with this work, or just being a human and a soul, having this multidimensional experience, is how can I, with my conscious mind, understand what patterns and programs are running right now? How can I understand how the patterns and the beliefs have led to energetic fractals or energetic makeups within my field that cause me to be triggered, to feel certain ways about myself, to choose to act in certain ways or speak in certain ways about myself because of my programming. So in this 3-part live, part 1 is going to be the mind, breaking free from lack in the mind, and that's what we're going to be exploring today. Check out the link below to have a look at all of that. But I wanted to first play a game to understand, to make a change. I really feel like you have to first know thyself, know what your programs are. And when I teach energy, a simple formula that I like to use is finding the belief. Where does it sit in the body? Maybe it's in the mind. What is the emotional charge that is being released from this belief? Where does that emotion sit in your body? Does it have a color? Does it have a shape? Does it belong to anyone else? how long has this pattern, this charge, this structure been embedded within us? How has this emotion charge structure caused us to act or behave? Are there any situations that are currently playing out due to this lacking belief? And they're saying it's a coagulation, it's an interplay between the mind, between the body, between the energy. And in this game, we're going to use our psychic senses. And you might like to grab a piece of paper and pen, but I really want to just ask a series of questions to help you find out what patterns of lack are right now operating and active within your subconscious, your unconscious, and maybe just even your conscious mind. Because something interesting I saw with a client the other day was they asked them, we did a whole bunch of energy work and it was amazing, right? But they had this really key point, which was you could do all the energy work in the world, but if you're not addressing your subconscious patterns, the voice that speaks behind every action, and identifying it and grabbing it like a little slippery worm that continues to infiltrate the back far corners of your ideas about yourself, and look it in the eye and recognize what it is and understand how long it's been there, and understand that you have the power by observing it to shift it or recognize it no longer needs to be housed within. Then the change can actually happen, and you can start replacing these thoughts, these programs, these constructs of your mind with new thoughts, with new emotions. And at the beginning, changing your thoughts and changing your frequency and your personality and these habitual, ritualized aspects of us is really challenging. It's quite literally one of the hardest things that I think we as humans can do, is to change our fundamental programming. And it's quite literally the most empowering, life-changing things you can do is to change your programming. So for me, I know I went through a whole host of old programmings coming up when I was in preparing to give birth just recently. My lack was abandonment, so a lack of support when I needed it most, that I was a burden for asking for help, that I had to be in control of everything so I could make sure that everything turned out okay, right? And this is easy to find the root of in my life. It's obvious where these patterns stem from my lived experiences. But it was really challenging for me to be the one that was felt broken, to be the one that was aware of like the third party observing it, and to be the one that had enough strength and power to release it and upgrade it and transmute it into something else, all whilst being in the throes of the energies of the planet in February, which were crazy, and the hormones and the physiological behaviors of this human body, right? I think as light workers, and write in the comment section below, it can feel frustrating at times. Time can feel frustrating because I think a lot of us have memories of instantly manifesting, instantly recalibrating, having access to a higher rate of consciousness than we're able to physically hold in our human meat suits and our nervous system. So for me, I get very frustrated, and you might feel this too, that there's like a lag of time between identifying and shifting and clearing and activating. It has to go through so many processes that are unseen, which equates to you have to wait and it takes time, right? So I guess that's why we came here, to play in these realms, and that's just a nature of the human experience. But this energy activation that I wanted to open up the floor to go live is to recognize that we don't need to do it all by ourselves, that there are teams and angels and guides and higher selves and frequencies that can penetrate on a much deeper level than maybe what we have been using as a tool to shift our subconscious programming. I see again and again like literal life-changing miracles happen just by connecting and working with the higher realms to deprogram, to debug, to alchemize these deeply entrenched and stored sensations and frequencies and feelings. 11:11 on the clock. So come with me on a little journey, and I'm just going to ask a series of questions. Let's put on some music and we can do it as a little meditation. Not so you can come away be like, oh, I have so much to work on, but just more so you can understand what are the programs that I'm working through right now, and do they support my highest good, and do they assist me from operating on my highest timeline where I am abundant, where I have all the resources that I need to have to complete my soul's mission, to experience connection with myself and to bring my highest light for others. Because what are we doing here when we are on this ascension path? What are we doing to shift our frequency, and why are we doing these things, and why are we doing them with such great struggle and lack? So that's why I named this Break Free from Lack and Embody Abundance. So let's go through a little exercise. I'm just putting on my Awakening the Ethereal Heart soundscape. I will open up the channel. Putting on your headphones if you want, you don't need to. I'm just going to open up a channel of light over your frequency. Calling on my higher selves, and all higher selves are the ones tuning in. Calling on all angelic frequencies. The angels are saying we come with a message of hope. We come with a message of harmony. We come with a message of understanding that dissolving and working through limiting programs are a matter of vibration and frequency. And as the frequencies of the planet are speeding up, raising their baseline frequency, it shall become easier for the individual to identify and discern what no longer works, and to get that integrate these new light codes within the mind, within the body, within the field, within the personality. As more and more of you wake up upon this awakening ascension path and choose to anchor the truth of your soul, which is free, empowered, and they just want to run these codes just very gently through your system, if you give permission to tune into these angelic currents of light. What is light? Little packets of information, little catalysts for change. They're saying many of you have been born into a time, a consciousness of the planet in the 40s, the 50s, the 60s, where things seemed fixed, things seemed dense. Things seemed very black and white, and what you see is what you get. They're saying for a time, depression and focusing on your emotions had no worth, had no value, had no place within one's life. Internal inquiry, didn't really take off. They're saying until like the hippie movement, until the 60s and the 70s. And ever since then, we have been on a roller coaster ride, a very fast moving kalara undrata internal collective force, a mechanism that has been causing what appears to be great chaos upon the planet, a weeding, if you will, of these anciently held blocks to our fundamental abilities, our fundamental frequencies, our fundamental light codes. They're saying, many of you are able to spontaneously wake up because this density never belonged to you. You are quite literally encoded within your DNA capsules, is what they're saying. Little time capsules that are predetermined to go off at certain times. We wish for you to understand this work that you are doing is not a solo job. You were not dropped in your spacesuit from your planet alone on your missions. No, there's always been the umbilical cord of life connecting your systems into a higher force that is you. That is you guiding you. We ask for you to release the pressure that you feel to figure it out and do it all on your own. We offer you a mini calibration to release this pressure now. Just taking a deep breath. They're saying the conversation that Katie has opened is quite a complex structure and understanding of. They're saying you are made up of human biology. You are made up of ancestral imprinting. You are made up of a mind that perceives and translates experiences into beliefs. These beliefs are sitting in the physical body, in the energetic system. And some of these beliefs are attached to the quantum expression of you. These negative beliefs are strengthened by past life experiences. We ask you for a moment, dear ones, sensitive souls, to become aware of your quantum energy body, your quantum energy field. See, sense, know, imagine, believe. You are in one shell of light, and this represents your human energy field. You might like to imagine rings or other shells of fields external to this, representing other baseline experiences you have had on planet, off planet, through many incarnations. You are not simply clearing and working through this life's programming. For many of you, this lifetime is the be-all, the end-all, the grand finale, the grand show, the play, where all battles are hashed out, and you are hoping, intending, working towards victory. And the victory here is reclaiming the power, the passion, the light, the truth of your soul. For one moment, feel a sense of valiance, feel a sense of pride in your heart. Feel that the battle has already been won. Feel that you are already victorious in your awakening journey. Okay. Now we begin to ask the questions. When we speak of lack, there is a myriad of expressions that this could be connecting to. We are going to ask questions at random and just feel into your mind, into your body, and let it ring true or not true for you. Many of you feel like you have been sent here on a failed mission. That source has abandoned you. That the journey is too hard. That you are too alone, without the right toolkit. That your tools for connection are faulty. That you do not have enough resources for change. Feel into your mind, feel into your heart. Does this ring true for me? Yes or no? If yes, tune into the main emotion you feel with your lack of connection to Source. Where does that emotion sit in your body? What does it feel like? We encourage you to speak aloud. It feels like pain. It feels like abandonment. Feels like suffering. Coming into the mind, what is the inherent belief that is stored behind this sense of lack and disconnection? I am unworthy. I am not as divine to use my gifts as others. I am too broken. I am too old to change. How long have these beliefs been embedded in your mind, in your body, in your systems? Just downloading this information. The first thing you hear, 3, 2, 1. Was it this life? Were you 4? Did you bring these beliefs in from another life? Are past life traumas still affecting your belief of abundance? Did you inherit these beliefs from the mother's line? How many generations back did this originate? Know this answer now. Did you inherit these beliefs from the father's line? How many generations back did this originate? Receive this answer now. We move to the topic of abundance, financial abundance. Abundance has to do with receiving, has to do with worth, has to do with believing. Answering yes or no in your mind. I believe there is not enough to go around. I have to work really hard for money, and even then it is hard to keep it. I am greedy or selfish if I ask for more. I feel I will always be in a state of lack. The system is set up for me to fail. I am unworthy of having my needs met. If you've answered yes to any of these, feel the emotion in your body. If you can, locate where this lack sits in your body. Kaya undrara kuru undrara shkuruto undratriata. Kaya undratria. Feel your own internal blocks. Imagine for a moment you've found the perfect course for your gifts so you can feel empowered with your psychic abilities. Imagine your favorite craft and you're needing to buy a new tool, a new camera, a new art pad. Imagine that you are going out to a celebration and buying a new outfit for yourself. Imagine that you want to afford yourself the highest version of all of these, and it costs $100, $500, $1,000. What are you saying to yourself? Are you saying, yes, I can afford this, I am supported, I am abundant? Or are you saying, that's a little out of my league? I haven't worked hard enough to deserve that. There's not enough to go around. Times are too tough. Do you have a fundamental belief that there are not enough resources upon this planet to help you? Do you believe that you are unworthy to access these resources? Do you see how you have unconsciously blocked yourself from receiving these resources? Karo undrara tuishkarara tularara tusuru umbrariara tulorokuru undraye. Karo undrashishinoromandratrayataratratra. Does these energies and beliefs represent your true self, your core nature? They're just running a light clearing. For one moment in your heart, open a channel of light to your guides, to your higher self, and just say aloud or in your mind, I am ready to receive support for change. I'm ready to receive guidance and assistance on the deepest levels for growth. I am ready to experience the total liberation of self to activate my true light, my true soul of abundance. And then just bringing through golden codes of light through your system. We remind you, you are doing this not only for yourself, but the future generations to come. You are quite literally in a state of dissolution of templates that have been rigidly held and now are giving an opportunity to be shaken, to be broken, to be dismantled, to be not agreed upon. It is your choice to make the change. And saying I am, that I am, that I am. Thank you, Spirit. And just slowing down the energy currents and opening your eyes. So that was just a little exercise to see that you can ask yourself questions at any time to find out what program is still active, to find out how long it's been there, and to see that you can always ask for help upon this path to create yourself anew, to be a pure embodiment of who you actually are. Not your personality, not your childhood, who you are. If you'd like to join me live, check out the information below and leave in the comments how that felt for you and what you're working on dismantling for yourself and humanity. Sending all my love.